fantastic. So proud of the players and the supporters. It's a big night for us. We knew how important the game was. We wanted to go through. Over the 2 games, I think we've played 2 good games. But in the end, we had to get the job done, and we did. So delighted for the players.
Tell us about the pressure that's on a manager in your position, where you've gone through a spell of results that you have, and then, of course, you come away with a 1-0 defeat in a game you probably should have won with the chances. And then to this game here. What's that like for you?
Well, we thought we made real progress against Dortmund away. We thought we played a really good game, had some good chances, like you say, unlucky to lose. And then we played Southampton at home here, and we lose 1-0, and we play a poor first half, and all of a sudden, pressure mounts, and it's the nature of the business. So 2 defeats, so we had to bounce back against Leeds, and tonight was important for us because our league table is where it is, and we wanted to progress in this competition. So the pressure's to win, the pressure's to go through, and delighted, like I said, for the players, the supporters. We've all been suffering a little bit. It's an understatement, a lot. So nice to win, really nice.
Of course, you need the little breaks to go your way, and it did today with the penalty. What do you think about the penalty, especially the second one?
Yeah, it's. I'm not going to complain about the law, that's for sure, and we're on the right side of it.
No, so, what do you think about the second penalty? That was a question.
Well, I'm happy it went in, that's for sure.
You never watched it?
No,
I saw that.
No,
you never.
I didn't watch.
Why was that?
I didn't watch the second one. I watched the first one, and then he missed that one. So I thought, I'm not going to watch this. I'm just going to wait for the crowd's noise, and then I can celebrate.
Yeah, well, you're through to the quarterfinals. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you very much.
And thank you very much.
It tells the story there, doesn't it? The fact that he couldn't bear to watch that second penalty when he spoke about the pressure that he has been under personally, the team in general, but that tells you something that he couldn't bear to watch.
Yeah, it's a huge moment for the club, a huge moment for him. He knows that. He's worked all his life, certainly his coaching life, to get to the position of managing one of the top teams in the country, a team who has a realistic chance of winning the biggest honours, and it can be taken away from you so quickly. So, yeah, that was a huge moment for him. I think, all of us in here are delighted for him that he's got that result tonight, and it, gives him a lot of breathing space now going forward.
You've said a couple of times how happy you are for him, and I think that's really genuine, right? But you also have said that from the very beginning, you felt like he wasn't the right fit. Does that now look different to you? Do you think he's the right fit for Chelsea moving forward, or are you just happy for him on a personal level?
I'm happy for him on a personal level. I don't think one game would ever cloud your judgment one way or another. He wouldn't have lost his job tonight if they'd have lost just because of tonight. It's because of what's gone before. So the flip side of that shouldn't go the other way. It's more of Chelsea, the club, and the way they've been over the last 20 years, really. And
do you think that's different though now with new ownership?
What's different?
In terms of, they would have probably changed the manager 3 times over with these results, for being totally honest. But Todd Bowley has stuck with him and backed him, because a lot of owners might have said, listen to the fans and their sort of, I won't say aggression, but they're upset with results. But the owners actually stuck with him and been a little bit more patient. And that could be the new regime for Chelsea going forward.
Well, you say they would have been patient, but if these last 2 games wouldn't have gone well, I think that would have been the end of it. And any manager now, no matter who you are, even a team who are promoted, if you go sort of 10 or 12 games and you've got 1 win in that, you're going to be getting questioned. And that's never mind being at Chelsea. That's if you're a team struggling near the bottom. But the thing, what I would say about Graham Potter is the fact that you change Thomas Tuchel, who is a Champions League winner at Chelsea. He's managed Paris Saint-Germain, he's managed Borussia Dortmund. He's got a bigger pedigree than a Graham Potter, if you like. Now, when you go in, you're talking about giving a manager time. And people talk about Arteta, and sometimes people talk about Jurgen Klopp. I think it's completely different. Arteta won the FA Cup within about 4 months. Jurgen Klopp was in a Europa League final and another cup final within 6 months and qualified for the top 4 the year after. Now, with Graham Potter, the problem is if you don't hit the ground running, you don't go, yeah, but he won the Champions League there, or he won a league there, so I believe in what he's doing. A lot of the Chelsea players will look at him and think, he's just a manager from Brighton. Now, that might sound disrespectful, me saying that, but I know that's how players will look at it. I had Rafa Benitez, and he struggled initially when he first came in the first few months at Liverpool. But as a player, you go, he won La Liga twice with Valencia. So you believe in his methods and his ideas, and that's the problem I think Graham Potter's got, is what's gone before in terms of his success, or I wouldn't say lack of success. He's had success, but not in terms of what Chelsea are used to from managers.
All right, let's take you out to Stamford Bridge where Peter Schmeichel and Nico Cantor watched that game live. I guess I'm just interested, we heard about the fact that the stadium felt a little bit quiet from the Chelsea fans initially. There was the sense of anxiety, right? How much did that switch throughout the game?
That was quite quickly, wasn't it?
Yeah, because I think they felt confident as the game went on.
It was when we were doing the last little bit before the game, the crowd started to be very, very noisy, and then there was that little sort of the first 10 minutes where Dortmund seemed to be in charge and had I think 72% possession
In the first 15 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit of nerves here, but after that it was.
And after the goal, I think things really simmered down, and Chelsea felt that they could take even more control. I was talking to Kepa in the tunnel, and he said we should have even put them away in the first half, even to just be even more calm in that second half. But the fans felt like they had control, because I think in the game you did see that.
Chelsea needed a little bit of luck in this game, and in all fairness, they had all the luck they could ask for. You think about the first goal, Sterling kind of tackles the ball and it jumps up perfectly for him to volley the ball in, and of course a penalty. I don't know. Obviously, we've done the interview, so I don't know what you guys in the studio you said about the penalty, but I don't think it's a penalty. I think it's a little bit too cheap. But these are the small breaks you need in the situation that Chelsea has been in, a team with great players, and it's not gone their way. This could be a massive turning point for them, and in all fairness, they should have won more than 2, I think.
Yep. And Kepa definitely was saying that they needed that little push. They've got Leicester at the weekend, and they just need to keep on putting these results together, and you never know what can happen in football. Let me just leave you guys with this. As Peter was about to interview Graham Potter in the Flash Zone, Todd Bowley came down into the tunnel. They embrace this very joyous embrace. And Todd Bowley, I think the state of affairs at Chelsea right now, after winning that game, he was drinking something which to me looked like a beer. So it's a little bit of a celebration moment right now for Chelsea getting over this hump and into the next round.
Is that judgment, Nico?
No, not at all. You win, you're the owner of the team. You can have a beer.
Oh, yes.
That guy can buy beers for the whole stadium if he wants.
Broadcasting that story is definitely different to the way you told me.
No, don't make me look bad. Fake news.
Get Guillaume back.
Isn't that what this program is all about?
Peter, before we let you go, have you gotten over Jamie's attack earlier on in the show?
Yeah, I'm very, very, very sorry, Jamie, that I didn't hear it. I didn't hear any of it. I heard the 7th of March.
Our audio connection wasn't good in that hit.
No, we had terrible sound troubles pre-match. It's all sorted out now. So I know you prepared and it took you a long time to come up with that. You forgot one thing, though. When it goes to 7, that's a 7 own goals that you score. If you put that in, it would have been brilliant.
All right, boys, we're going to have to let you go. But Peter, you're going to be at Tottenham tomorrow for their game against AC Milan. Nico, you're going to be in the studio with us, so we look forward to seeing both of you then. Have a good one. See you later, guys. Thank you.
Out of order, big man.
Dortmund are now out of the Champions League and focus their attention on the Bundesliga and trying to win that. Jude Bellingham is with Nico Cantor at Stamford Bridge.
Jude, thanks for your time. It's a tough pill to swallow. Talk me through what went wrong today.
I think we started the game a little bit too passive. They got in many times in the first half, and they probably could have made us pay in the first 10-15 minutes, to be honest, especially on the counter-attack. They were really dangerous tonight, and we didn't manage it well enough until the goal, really. And the goal, especially the second one, gave us a bit of a kick up the arse. But until then, we were quite laid back, and we didn't really press them with enough intensity.
Would you like to have been on the ball more?
Yeah, definitely. I think you want to come to these kind of stadiums and control the game a little bit more, control the emotion. When they start getting chances and they start putting us under the pressure, then they build an atmosphere and they can get on top of you and start to create successive chances. And Yeah, we kind of were made to pay for that. It felt like it was kind of coming, and we didn't really do enough to swing the tide of the game.
How come you don't think you were able to dictate the game as much as you'd like?
I'm not sure. I've just seen the possession stats actually after the game, and it said that it was 60-40 for us, but it felt like we didn't have great control. In all honesty, it felt like they could have scored at any time, and that's something we've got to look at. But I think after the second goal, we came out with a lot more fire and a lot more intent to do damage, and yeah, we were unlucky. I mean, I've had a big chance I should score. Marius had a couple where they've made a block, and good defending from them, but to be honest, I should be scoring.
Did you guys not feel like yourselves, given how prolific you guys were offensively? Today you were shut out.
I think we tried to do the things that we've worked on in the last few weeks that have made us so successful. We had openings, but didn't really create anything clear. Like I said, we had a lot of the ball in areas that aren't going to win you a game. We got to review it, we got to look back, but it's important that this doesn't kill our momentum going into the rest of the season. We've got a lot of big games coming up. We're really competitive in the league at the minute and still in the cup. Yeah,
that was the last thing I was going to ask about the Bundesliga. It might seem like the end of the world right now, but you're very deep in a title race.
Yeah, I was just saying to the lads there, don't let it ruin the momentum that we're building. Obviously, it's awful that we've got to go out after we've done so well to earn a result at home, but that's the game. It's disappointing, but there's a lot still to play for us.
Yeah, thanks, Jude.
Top man, thank you.
I mean, you had mentioned his miss before, and you have to respect that he takes ownership of that in front of the cameras, right?
What I respect is that he talked about having possession. Now, we're going to talk first and foremost about the miss, and normally it's in the back of the net. He recomposes himself, as you can see. He opens his foot and he thinks he's going to side foot it in the bottom corner, but it wasn't meant to be. I want to go back to the interview though, because he talked about having possession, but not being in control. Mm-hmm. He talked about them having all the opportunities. He talked about him missing the opportunity. He didn't talk about the penalty. He didn't complain about anything, but about them not being good enough and finding a way to reassess it. That's also the sign of a guy that has his head on his shoulders. He didn't lie about anything or try to hide about anything. They were not good enough. Let's go and try to win the league, and that's about it. Chelsea were better on the day.
Mm-hmm. It's a class act, isn't he? I mean, you see in his interview there, he's so mature. I mean, he's so young as well. Everything about him, I love. He didn't have his best game today, but it's just because Chelsea were the better team, and he can't always be the best player on the pitch. But they can focus on the league now and drive them on. I think in the interview as well, he said he spoke to the lads and told them to keep their heads up. So he's like the leader of the group at such a young age, which is a great thing to see. So, yeah, wasn't meant to be for them tonight, but they can concentrate on the league now.
Commiserations, Edin. Is that hard to take tonight?
So, first of all, fair play to Chelsea and congratulations. It was two very tight games. And in the end, on this stage, inches are deciding about going to the next round or not. And I think both games been very close for both teams. But in the end of the day, they deserved it, but I think we could have also deserved it tonight.
What did you make of the penalty?
Look, I'm responsible for the performance of our team and my performance, and I don't want to talk about the referee. The only thing I think, because it's now the third time that your colleagues are asking me the question, I think it was a tight call and a harsh decision, but this is how it goes.
The game in the first half was pretty balanced, but then the Sterling goal seemed to change the atmosphere.
I think the first 10 minutes you can feel the power, not only from Chelsea, also from the stadium. But after that, we took a bit of the control. We had more ball possession, and then it was an open game on both sides. They scored. We didn't. In the second half, after the penalty decision, it took a while, but then after 52 minutes, we had one clear-cut chance of Jude Bellingham to get back into the game. And after that, we took the control. Then there have been a couple of moments where we have to defend on counter-attacks, many of them been offside situations. But we couldn't create too many clear-cut chances. And on that stage, if you have your 2 or 3 opportunities and you don't finish them, it's going to be hard to go to the next round.
Plans were sort of thrown up in the air a little bit after about 3 minutes with Brandt going down and Adeyemi already being out. You lost a couple of pace setters there.
Yeah, Adeyemi and Brandt and also our goalie. So these are the 3 players that have been in form for the recent weeks. But that's also part of the game, and we adapted well. Gio came in and then took over the position, and we have enough quality in the team, and that's the good thing. If you see before the season, if you compare both teams, but I think these two games, and this is what we want. We don't want to compete with Chelsea on the transfer market. We want to compete with them on a match day, and I think we did it twice.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Listen, there's no doubt it was closer between these two, but I sort of get the impression that in the coming hours there'll be more and more frustration from Edin Terzic, because they took the lead coming into this game. They had so many chances as well, didn't they? Not just early on, but at 2-0 just to try and take this game to extra time.
Well, that wasn't the best Dortmund you could see. Obviously, missing the goalkeeper was a huge one. Injury going off early in the game, but actually they did create a couple decent opportunities. But, you know, Dortmund are a better side than this normally, and I think you have to credit Chelsea. You know, they're defending pretty well. Jude will want that one back. You know, that falls to him beautifully. I think he just rushes it a tiny bit, thinks Koulibaly is going to get there sooner than he does, but it was a big moment in the game.
Why didn't we see the best of Dortmund tonight?
Don't know. To be fair, that's Dortmund, with the utmost respect, they're a little bit like that. You know, they put in so much hard work, and then in the big moment, it's sometimes not there.
Is that how you felt when you was in Germany, when you played? You obviously played at Bayern Munich.
Yeah. That's, you know, that's how it was. You know, sometimes in the big moment, you got to get the job done when you need it. And you know, the teams that win, they do that. Dortmund, they play beautiful attacking football. Terzic to turn this team around. No one. They're the form team in Europe, Jake. 10 games unbeaten, absolutely flying. But it just felt like this was too much for them. They huffed and puffed. They played okay, but Chelsea were the better team, I think.
There was a bit of an element actually early on, as with a bit of sort of rabbit in the headlights. I mean, the atmosphere in here was jumping, and that first 10-15 minutes, they were caught cold a bit, Dortmund.
Yeah. Well, they should be used to a great atmosphere. They play in one of the finest stadiums for that in Europe. I think it was the intensity of Chelsea in the first 10-15 minutes, coupled with the stadium rocking, coupled with the fact they've got a young team predominantly, and like Owen said, they fall down a lot in big moments, you know, and I think credit to the manager. He come out there and he said we competed with Chelsea over 2 leagues. He said, but we can't compete with them in the transfer market, and I think that's fair of where they are as a club. It's fantastic for them to get to these late stages, but ultimately when they come up with against a Chelsea or a PSG or a Liverpool or Man United or someone like that with a quality of players there, like that, them players will make the difference and they will hurt you.
I think Graham Potter hit the nail on the head. I think they noticed that they are good in possession. They are quite a free-flowing team when they're going forward, but they do leave themselves quite open when they do that. And if you can, in transition, hit them and be direct, you are going to get chances. And a lot of the chances created for Chelsea in the first half especially was from that.
And of all the frustration for Dortmund, you said that probably the biggest is going to be the fact that Chelsea scored not just from a penalty, but from a retaken penalty following an encroachment. And after the match, actually, Des...
Here today. My name's Derek Ray, and joining me for commentary on this game is the former Arsenal and England fullback Lee Dixon. I'm very much looking forward to bringing you action from the Premier League. It is Chelsea up against Tottenham Hotspur.
Hi Derek, thank you. Well, both managers will be reminding their players how important it is to start off the game really quickly. Really attack the opposition, put them on the back foot, see what comes of that. Hopefully we get a good game.
And a look at the Chelsea starting 11. N'Golo Kanté starts alongside Mateo Kovacic in central midfield. And the starting role in attack today is handed to Timo Werner. Son. Lucas with it. And it's a quality pass. Lucas Moura. And he's broken free. Clean challenge. Good thing from his point of view. In with a chance. And a goal! Not bad for starters. They take an early lead.
Well, here's the replay. And Derek, if you get caught on the ball there, you should be fined a week's wages. It's terrible, and he's punished. Some explaining to be done to his coach, I feel.
The opening goal of the game then.
Tottenham Hotspur goal, number 27, Lucas.
Ziyech. Well, he likes to run at them. Well, it was never going to worry the keeper.
Well, no wonder he's looking a little bit sheepishly at his teammates. Head in a hand sort of moment.
Son. Great ball from Son. Will it be Harry Kane? In it goes! 2 goals in rapid-fire fashion and looking very comfortable here.
Well, here's the replay, and as we see, it's a class ball through to split the defence. And when he gets through to the keeper, he just smashes it past him and gives him no chance to think. A lovely finish. Well, no